Howdy everybody, Harvey Media here. Last time on Harvey Media Reviews, we talked about the first episode of Bibleman, Big Big Book. Now, I said there was one more episode in between Big Big Book and Six Lies of the Fibbler, so you may be wondering why we're jumping to that. Well, you see, I don't own a copy of either Big Big Book or Episode 2, Back to School. The only reason I was able to review Big Big Book in the first place is because someone graciously uploaded it on YouTube, and I was able to download it and use the footage. I don't own a copy of Back to School, so I won't be able to review it. I haven't even seen it. So until I actually get a copy and get the technology to actually put it on my computer, put it in any software, and make a whole video about it, it's just not going to happen. So for right now, we're just going to be jumping straight Six Lies of the Fibbler and hope we didn't miss anything big in Back to School. So without further ado, let's jump right in. So instead of jumping right into the theme song like we did last time, this time we have a pre-credit sequence in which we get our first glimpse at Bibleman's headquarters, the Bible Cave, made almost entirely out of Fisher-Price products. We also see that Bibleman enjoys having his Kool-Aid boiling hot, and that apparently he has a tank of fish, because fish are so useful fighting crime.
Come on, guys! We could use whales! Whales!
Anyway, the camera follows as Miles Pearson's feet and hands walk through the Bible Cave and eventually come to the chamber in which he keeps his Bible suit, complete with all the marijuana fumes that I'm sure inspired his design. It's at this point that we cut into the theme song, and unlike last week, where we only had footage of the kids bopping around and one shot of Bibleman, this time we actually have footage from a couple episodes under our belt, so we're able to be a lot more creative with the editing and make things look a little bit more interesting. A little bit being the operative phrase. There's also a brief bit at the beginning of the theme song, which will be here for the rest of the show, talking about Bibleman's origin story. Miles Peterson, a man who had it all, wealth, status, success, but still something was lacking. Miserable, alone, his spirit beaten, Miles Peterson gave up. But then, in his darkest hour, the words of a single book began to change his life. And then, Miles Peterson felt the burning desire to know God. Inspired by the Word of God and equipped with unyielding faith, Miles pledged to fight evil in the name of God as Bibleman. I may have watched the show a few times as a kid. So the episode proper opens just like last time, with the kids performing some horrible song about how awesome the Bible is. But, unlike with Big Big Book, where the songs were the plot, in this episode the songs are simply incidental to the plot, so I don't have to listen to this garbage. And instead I'm just going to replace all the songs with actually good songs I have on my computer. It's at this point in the episode that we are introduced to the main antagonist of the week, the Fibbler, who somehow comes off as a creepier pedophile than the Joker from Under the Red Hood.
Yes, run, my little late one. The fun's about to start.
It's also at this point that we're introduced to one of the more frustrating aspects of the Bibleman series, the confusing theology that comes with the villains in the show. I'm just going to be covering this on a case-by-case basis, because to discuss the entire thing would be an exercise in mindfuckery. So in the case of the Fibbler, he's obviously some sort of demon sent by the devil in order to tempt the kids into lying to each other, so they'll fight, the group will break up, and they'll stop worshiping God, and yada yada yada. So he's ugly as hell, he wanders around creeping on kids and gets them to lie, and only Bibleman, being the holy warrior of God, the chosen one, can see him. And if that was all that was going on, I'd be fine with that. I'm cool with that so far. But here's the bit that really confuses me. Not only does the Fibbler get the kids to lie, and if you've ever worked with kids before in your life, you know that's not hard. He actually comes up with the lies for the kids.
What's the deal, Ashley?
I, had to take care of my mom. A one, a two, A 1, a 2, 3.
I had to take care of my mom.
So you might be saying, well, of course, this is just saying something about humanity, where it's saying that humans are so, and especially children, are so good deep down inside that we could never come up with lies ourselves. We have to be forced into lying by some otherworldly entity. But personally, I don't buy it, because the kids still lie. The Fibbler may come up with the lies for them, but the kids snatch up the lies and use them at any given opportunity. So it's not really as much as they're being forced to lie, it's just that they aren't intelligent enough to lie, and so they grab the first lie that they find. So as it turns out, the answer to the question, what is man, isn't as much a miserable little pile of secrets as it is a miserable little pile of lazy asshole. Also, since a demon's main job description is to be a deceiver, I would think that a demon would be able to come up with better lies than this guy does.
I think my cat might have given what it had to my mom.
I think my cat might have given what it had to my mom.
So Bibleman shows up, and I gotta admit, the costume has improved a lot. The helmet now fits his head, his chest plate no longer looks like it's trying to eat his face, and his arm gauntlets and boots no longer look as much like Galador toys and more like actual Galador props. But I still have to question the design. Why? Who came up with this? Like, just picking on one example for right now. What's with the thing on the top of his head? Is it an M? What does the M stand for? It doesn't stand for Jesus. It doesn't stand for God. It doesn't stand for the Bible. Does it stand for Methuselah? Somewhat random. What is it? Is it not an M? What is it supposed to be, like angry eyebrows? Because it didn't translate that way. So Bibleman does his thing. He gives the kids a Bible verse to encourage them, and then he disappears in a flash. So the main conflict of the episode comes from Dork Glasses and Cute Girl here have gotten into a bit of an argument over the fact that the Cute Girl is constantly late for rehearsals, and because of the influence of the Fibbler, keeps lying about what she's been doing and hasn't ever actually given a real answer for why she's late all the time. But after a little bit of encouragement by Bibleman, Dork Glasses decides to entrust a cassette tape with half of the songs for their show the next day to Cute Girl, which begs the question from me, why would you do that? A, it's a cassette tape. It's not that hard to carry around. If you have two of them, one with one half and one with the other, you have two pockets. Simple simple solution. Well, you might say, he's trying to show her that he trusts her. But that's not good either, because she has not proven herself to be trustworthy. I'm not saying he shouldn't forgive her. You totally should. But when someone proves that they are not trustworthy and not reliable, as in constantly coming in late and constantly lying about it, never apologizing for the lying, and never actually giving a real answer in place of the lie, then you probably shouldn't trust them to carry out an important task, like bringing half of the music for your show. And speaking of the show, we then cut to the kids putting on their Bibleman show at a local church the next day. Oh, isn't that sweet? One of the kids' grandmothers actually broke out of a mental institution to come see their show. So anyway, Cute Girl forgot to bring the tape. Surprise, surprise. And she starts lying, and the kids start arguing, and the Fibbler is laughing and leaving, and Bibleman sees the Fibbler laughing and leaving and chases him outside to throw down! Okay, first, apparently Bibleman is a cyborg, because otherwise I have no idea how that sword fit in with his arm. Unless he's just, like, freakishly skinny, and unless those sweater vests are a lot baggier than I think they are, that is not the case. And second, did Bibleman get his entire arsenal from Toys R Us? So the Fibbler escapes, and Bibleman goes back to his Bible cave to try and investigate who this guy is on some sort of website, which I guess has the list of Heaven's Most Wanted. It's basically a series of other Bibleman villains that we never actually see him fighting in the show. But I'm having a devil of a time trying to figure out exactly what sins these characters represent. Let's look at this list, shall we? Okay, so we got Spiderhead. He's got his spider tattoo and like piercing his stuff. He's like, maybe it's like the sin of destroying your body. So like if your body is a temple, he tempts kids towards like heroin or meth or something like that. There's Camo Kenster. Camo for when you're trying to hide. Deception, stuff like that. Okay, that works. Unlucky Lucy. She's unlucky. She believes in luck, lucky charms, rabbit's feet, magical talismans, the occult. There you go. Timid Tessie. Cowardliness. Okay. Iron Brains 2. The sin of conformity. You got the Smiler. I guess that's the sin of being a cast member on the Jersey Shore.